Beauty calls and gives no warning. Shadows rise and wander on the day. In the twilight, in the quiet evening.
This past year I've been doing a lot of fiction writing, children's stories, young adult and adults, and this is a YA story called A Walk to School. The door opens. "Is Penny ready?" asked Leanne. "Oh, she's sick today. I should have called you," said Penny's mom. "Tell her I hope she feels better and I'll stop by after school." "Ms. Brown," the school secretary said. Miss Brown looked up from her desk. It must be important since June never interrupted her morning routine unless it was something urgent. "The crossing guard just brought a girl to the office. She said she looked lost. The funny thing is, she looks like she got dressed in the 80s. You remember, baggy shirt in bold colors, hers in neon and black, fake hair all teased up, long dangling geometric earrings." Miss Brown got up, not really hearing her secretary's comments register until she was almost past June. She turned her head and said, "The 80s? "Yes." Miss Brown walked to the front desk, and there was a girl dressed right out of the 80s. From the side, she could have been any teenager in junior high from that decade, except it was 2018. "Sally, what do we have here?" Miss Brown asked the crossing guard. "This girl was standing for a long time in front of the school, constantly turning around. She looked lost, so I brought her to your office." Just then, the girl turned around, and Miss Brown gasped, "Leanne?" The girl, startled, looked at Miss Brown. She stared. Her eyes got larger and larger. Finally, with a gasp, she said quietly, "You look like my friend Penny's mother, Mrs. Brown." Everyone stared at the girl and then Miss Brown. There was silence. Miss Brown, tears in her eyes, said, "Leanne, I'm Penny Brown, your best friend from junior high." Now Leanne shook her head back and forth. No, Penny's my age. You can't be Penny. She's homesick." She looked around and said, Everything looks so different from my school. Where am I? I want my mother." She started to cry. Penny reached out and put her hands on Leanne's shoulder. "Leanne, come into my office and we can talk." Leanne nervously followed Miss Brown. Once in the office, Miss Brown closed the door. She and Leanne sat on the couch. "Leanne, see the calendar on the wall? See the year?" "Yes," Leanne said hesitantly. "What year does it say?" 2018. But it's 1988. I just had my 14th birthday last month. Penny, I mean you were at my birthday party. What's happening?" Penny Brown's heart seemed to be beating at a tremendous rate as she looked at Leanne. Leanne looked frozen with her last question. At last, Penny said, "Leanne, tell me what happened after you left my house, after my mother said I was sick." Leanne's eyes seemed to glaze over. She started to speak, then hesitantly. Finally, she said, "Penny, I left your house and walked to school. When I got here, I saw lots of kids just like when we walked to school. They were standing around, some were talking, some were laughing and kidding with each other, but everyone was dressed so differently. I did not recognize anyone. I kept walking back and forth, trying to see someone I knew, but I couldn't find anyone. It was scary. Then the crossing guard came up to me and asked if I was okay. I told her I didn't know anyone, and then she brought me to your office." Penny patted Leanne's hand and asked Leanne just to sit on the couch for a while so she could get some answers. She said she'd be right back. She left her office and asked the secretary where the crossing guard went. June said she went back to the crosswalk. Penny said she was going to talk with her. When Penny returned, she went into her office, then immediately came back out and asked June where Leanne was. June said Leanne had to use the bathroom and went down to the hall to the girls' room. Penny went to the girls' bathroom, and there several girls were fixing their hair, but no Leanne. Penny called her name out several times as she walked past the closed stall doors, but no answer. One of the girls at the sink said, "Ms. Brown, there's no one here named Leanne." Penny walked back to her office to search for Leanne. All along the hallway, she kept calling out, "Leanne? Leanne? Leanne? Where are you?" There was no response. Mrs. Brown opened the back door. Leanne looked up and said, "How is Penny, Miss Brown?" "She's not much better. She's been tossing and turning all morning, and she's been calling your name." Let's go see if she's awake and how she's doing. They entered Penny's room and found her asleep. As they approached the bed, Penny called out, "Leanne? Leanne? Leanne? Where are you?" Leanne reached over and touched Penny's arm. Penny's eyes opened with a start. She blinked several times. "Leanne, I've been looking for you. Where have you been?" "I was at school," Leanne said. "I just stopped by to see how you were doing. Everybody missed you today." Penny looked at Leanne. She stared at her mother. She looked around the room and stared at everything. Finally, she turned to Leanne with a strange look on her face and said, "I just had a very strange dream." Leanne said, "What was the dream?" Penny laughed. She reached over and hugged Leanne. "I'm going to be a school principal when I grow up." And then she laughed again. "It's a long story. I'll tell you after I get some sleep. I'm so tired, and I'm glad I found you." Penny smiled, Leanne smiled, but with a confused expression, and then Penny went back to sleep.
Hi, my name's Trisha.
And I'm Thara.
Yeah, and basically we moved from Chicago recently, and I'm going to be accompanying Thara on the piano and then vice versa whenever I'm singing. And
So we have two original songs, and the first one that we're going to be singing is my original song, and it's called I Believe. And this is mostly about like what I've conquered through is like I can go through it and I can make it out because I believe in myself, and every one of you has been through something that you can get out of because you were like believing in yourself. So I really like this song, and yeah, I really hope you guys enjoy it too. I woke up one day to find myself in the middle of the ocean all by myself. I thought it was a dream, so I pinched myself, but it was really real, so I told myself, if you can survive a jellyfish sting, then you can survive anything. I can't believe that I am alive, 'cause I told myself I would survive. So I am prepared for the things in the future, 'cause I believe in myself. I believe, believe, believe. I believe in myself. Oh, oh, oh. I believe in myself. I believe in myself. I believe in myself. I always make it through. I don't know about you. I'll make it out somehow today. If you can sing in front of a crowd, then you can do anything without a doubt. I can't believe that I am alive, 'cause I told myself I would survive. So I am prepared for the things in the future, 'cause I believe in myself. I believe, believe, believe. I believe in myself. Oh, oh, oh. I believe in myself. I believe in myself. I believe in myself. And everything that is coming will only be worse if I'm not prepared. So I have to be. I can't believe that I am alive, I told myself I would survive. I can't believe that I am alive. 'Cause I told myself I would survive. So I am prepared for the things in the future. 'Cause I believe in myself. I believe I believe in myself. Oh, 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 I believe in myself. Oh, I believe in myself. Oh, I believe in myself. Thank you. Thank you.
All right, so the next song is a song that I wrote, and it's called Stay Out of My Personal Space. And it's basically about this one kid in my math class back in Chicago. And he was bothering me, let's say. And then I remember I had a singing class later that evening, and my singing teacher was asking me about my day. And then I was just telling her about the story, and she's like, why don't you write a song about it? So that's kind of how it started, and yeah, that's what this song is basically about. So there's some cool harmonies that we added to the song too, so yeah. Hey, can you not? You're really annoying and I want you to stop drawing on my papers, putting your hand on my desk. I hate the way you interject. My thoughts of you won't go away. When you ask me a question, I'll have to say, stay out of my personal space. I don't wanna see your face. Stop popping my bubble, I'm done being subtle. Stay out of my personal space. Stay out of my personal space. Shoot, fly, don't talk to me. I'm trying to do my thing, just let me be. You're calling me names, trying to get under my skin, but I won't let you in. I said it once, I said it twice. I've had enough, I'm done being nice. Stay out of my personal space. I don't wanna see your face. Stop popping my bubble, I'm done being subtle. Stay out of my personal space. Stay out of my personal space. I would be your friend if you treated me better. I would be your friend if you weren't so immature. When you gonna learn? Stay out of my, stay out of my, stay out of my personal space. Stay out of my, stay out of my, stay out of my personal space. Stay out of my, stay out of my, stay out of my personal space. Stay out of my personal space. I don't wanna see your face. Stop popping my bubble, I'm done being subtle. I'm done being subtle. Stay out of my personal space. I don't wanna see your face. Stay out of my personal space.
This poem I have is called The Story of the Neverending Breath. So in nature, spontaneous, natural, focused, and free, I turn to the solitary coast, the crashing of waves, sending vibrations deep throughout my bones. I turn to the sacral communal woods of nature, the creakings and whisperings, ageless, gentle giants grounding me as if their roots are my own. I turn, my consciousness takes the form of a meandering, ever-changing infinite river of incandescent crystalline energy filtered through my senses. and I, an anchorless vessel, condensed to naught in the expansive majesty that is this river of being, and yet forever in fine fettle. As I am drifting along this untamed body of perception, the immediate riverbank, abstract, uninhibited, free-forming thought, trees with infinite branches arching overhead whose roots rise up to bridge the gap of the mystical, ethereal expanse beyond, flowing by, places me in a beauty-filled state, time and time again, moment after moment. My breath catches before it can fully be caught. I become stuck in a loop. I exist. What is passing me by on the bank overcomes that which has passed me by. As soon as I finish ingesting, unpacking one abstract moment of thought, the meaning of the previous becomes forgotten, lost in a blur, dissolving to become a hint of what I had perceived its universal truth to be, while the grandeur of every moment remains, long after, unwavering, this everlasting breath feeding my soul so that it may ramble on forevermore.
Hi, my name is Shirley Miller. Thank you for Cheryl inviting me here. My English is not that good, so I just read through it. I know that we don't have much time. Okay. So this is my first time attending this meeting, and I'm a former Chinese language teacher in Hopkinton High School. After 7 years of teaching at the Hopkinton, I just resigned last month. I came from Taiwan and have living in San Diego, California for 6 years and in Cambridge, Massachusetts for 14 years. I have a spiritual mentor in Taiwan. And in 1970, she was a fortune teller, but she never charged me for money. And she also wrote so many books about Chinese astrologies. And later she became a Buddhist. And, start to teach people how to understand themselves based on their birth astrology chart. So before quitting, I wrote a message to my teacher and asked her for her opinions. She didn't say anything, but she wrote me 3 questions. The first, without this income, is this okay for you? Do you feel comfortable to ask money from your husband, if necessary? And the second question is, what will you do at home? Would you feel happy doing anything that you do? Would you be happy? The third question is, will you regret? Of course, you can regret, but is this okay when you feel regret? My answer was the first. My father just passed away this summer. So I inherited some money from him. So I don't worry about money. And besides, I always told my husband, your money is our money. My money is my money. So the second, I used to experience a tremendous boredom the first few years when I just moved to the U.S. So I do everything trying to escape, to run away from that kind of boredomness. So that's why I become a teacher and make myself very, very busy. So now I should be, since that many years, 10 years as a teacher, I think I should learn much better to deal with being bored. The third, I don't know if I will regret or not, but if really I regret, I just find another school and become a teacher again. So my teacher responds, and she said, then quit. She said, my current year situation, just like with Tao Yuanming, that's the writer that I want to introduce to him. He was this. Because she said she using the phrases that the second slide, please. That's called, I have to say in Chinese, 归去来兮，田园将芜胡不归, which means, that's I have a little, I hope that you're able to see that translation, which means this is actually the entire poem, but I'm not going to read that. I want to give you the second one, but what I'm saying is what, this is, the garden is going to be, all the grace that, so why don't you just go home? So that's the answer to me. So I quit the job. And the next one, today's poem I want to introduce is he wrote in more than 1,500 years ago. I hope that you're able to see the English translation, but here I want to read it in Chinese. Okay. 街路在人境，而无车马喧。问君何能尔？心远地自偏。采菊东篱下，悠然见南山。三气日夕佳，飞鸟相与还。此中有真意，欲辨已忘言。Which means my home is in a very noisy street, but I don't feel that I don't hear the car, the noise of the car. And I ask you, how can you do that? Because my heart is far. So my heart is far, so that location, you will feel the location it's a remote area. So I on my side, east side of my fence, and I pick up the chrysanthemum, and I will see that the flying bird, they are unite, they are about to go home. And 三气日夕佳, I don't know, and you have the picture that when you among the mountain, when the sunset, and you feel that kind of, I don't know, you're able to feel that, right? Yes. And I'm sorry that there's a mistake here. I pick up on the east side of my fence. I pick up the flower, yeah, and I look up and I see the mountain, and another mountain, and when the sunset, and I see the flying bird is going home, and this is gonna have something, but I don't know. I lost the translation. I don't know how I'm gonna tell you what does that mean, or how do I feel, and that's I feel a moment recently after I quit the job and doing nothing at home. Thank you so much.
I was all set to read from my recently published book, Gabriel's Light, Spiritual Poetic Musings today. And basically the message is finding your own light, finding your own purpose, and giving it back to the universe to improve Mother Earth. And I thought the girls this morning that said it so well when they sang that song about believing in yourself. So I decided actually this morning fall was calling to me. And I decided instead to read a short poem that I wrote years ago on fall. I don't know about you, but I have a hard time with my circadian rhythms acclimating to fall, and I'm such a free spirit. I love to be out in the open air. I'm an avid golfer. I just love nature. I love taking long hikes in the woods, and particularly love water therapy, which I do all year long, but especially in the summer, I'm drawn to the beach, to the pools, Lake Wab, and, places where writers and artists and musicians like to compose. But once I open my arms to fall, I can see the joys and the festivities with the holidays coming up. And I kind of bare my soul to the season of fall. And so today, I'd like you to think of what slices of fall, as I'm reading this, resonate with you. Slices of fall, reflections of orange and crimson red dot the Charles as it meanders cool and free, sparkling under sunlit skies. We are in awe of nature's beautiful robes, cast off in such colorful arrays. A sight to ponder well into the night. I smell the orange glow of pumpkins and squash in the air, like some forgotten slice of time come again. Bees hum to the rhythm of Gala, Cortland, and Max, tumbling to the ground in pattern waves of sound, beckoning hands to pick a bushel or two. It is the time of harvest. the time to remember your slices of fall, then and now. Thank you.
Hello, Hopkinton. You know, I like to make people laugh. So I got to ask you, have you heard the funny story of the day? No. Today, I'd like to give you a lesson in creativity. Recently, my son Bill, who now goes by the name Wallaboo, and I attended an open mic in Weston, Massachusetts. It was held at the Weston Public Library and was sponsored by the Weston Cultural Society and run by a very talented woman by the name of Brenda Assis. Now, as I was sitting there waiting for my turn to perform, I looked around the room and I saw these huge oil paintings. There were 6 of them all hanging all around the room. And you couldn't really call them pictures because there was no form or shape to them whatsoever. It was like a splash of rainbow colors. And as I was sitting there studying them, I tried to imagine what the artist was thinking when he created them. And then it occurred to me, it was like an epiphany. So as a result, I put aside my regular play and performance and instead called everybody's attention to the 6 paintings on the wall. And I said, I don't know if you're aware of it, but I'm the artist who created them. And of course, everybody laughed. I said, no, it's true. I says, you see, I have this tendency to have these wicked headaches, really bad migraines. And the only way I could deal with it was to pick up my paintbrushes and my palette and paint like crazy until the pain went away. And as a result, voila, 6 beautiful masterpieces worthy to be shown to the public and the Weston Public Library. Now I said to myself, I says, what'll I call them? I know, I'll name them for exactly what they represent. Excedrin headache number 1, Excedrin headache number 2, Excedrin headache number 3. Thank you very much.
The dreams we could not win. Under the flaming leaves, freezes the sky, it is the season grieves. Not you, not I. Oh, we have awakened sweet and had our birth, and that's the end of earth. And we have toiled and smiled and kept the light, and that's the end of night.